All right, no filter MMA family. This is your boy BJ, and I'm back with yet another video. So you guys knew this video was coming. So here it is. So both of my boys. I will listen, guys. Listen. This is one fight that I literally wish I could jump on a plane and fly over there and watch this fight. Like, that's how much I'm invested in this particular fight, guys. My boys, both of them, my boys, Richard Mearns and Scott Superman Butters, set to face off. I remember when I first interviewed, I think I first said it on, when I first interviewed Richard Mearns. And I told him, I said, hey, you know, a good fight would be between you and Scott Butters. I think I might have been trolling and stirring the pot a little bit. Y'all know how I do. But I had, it was always, I'm thinking, Scott's fighting at lightweight. Richard prefers to fight at featherweight. But then, when Scott was like, I think I'm going to move back down to lightweight because I feel like I'm overpowered by, you know what I'm saying? He said he feels like he's fighting bigger, stronger people, which is completely understandable. But guys, this fight is actually fucking happening. Holy shit. Both my boys. So I will remain 100% neutral when it comes to covering this fight. I will not choose a side. I like both of these guys. Listen, guys, let me tell you the type of relationship I have with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can dial these guys up and have these, and these guys, they enjoy coming on my podcast so much, they would jump on. You know what I'm saying? They would jump on anytime I need them. So they appreciate the exposure that, I've given them, and I appreciate the content that these guys have given me. These guys I've interviewed these guys multiple times, and that's great content for my channel. Great content for my channel. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. So I rather enjoy these two guys. So, to not disrespect the other, I think not disrespecting the other one is worth more than choosing who I think would win this fight. Just out of respect for those guys. These are very, very good guys, very, respectable. I respect both of these guys very much. Let me put it like that. I have a lot of respect for Mearns and Butters. So, with that being said, guys, let's talk about this motherfucking fight. Okay. All right. So, you have Scott Butters, okay, touted grappler, who's making the jump back down to 145 to featherweight, where he feels like he would be more at home. And the thing about Scott, though, is his body type. He has that wiry that wiry frame, and Scott has a very nice. He has a long wiry frame, so that gives him a very decent. Let's see. That gives him the ability to, like Scott. If Scott can wrap those limbs, he's got long limbs. If he can wrap those limbs around you, then you're in big trouble. Like that. When he submitted Jonathan Templier with that guillotine, dude, Templier wasn't getting out of that choke. Okay. Like, he wasn't getting out of that choke, period. Like, Butters locked that choke in. And what made it so bad, in that fight, you actually got to see Butters, he kind of peppered him up with some power. So those long, wiry appendages of Butters, I think allows him, for one, to be very slick on the ground. If he wraps those appendages around you, it's going to be hard to get out. And for two, it allows him to extend and throw with a lot of power. So, that's one thing that Richard's going to have to work out for. But when you flip over to the Mearns side of things, you know, you have a guy who's been fighting at a disadvantage. Him and his brother have been fighting at reach disadvantages their entire career. So this makes a very, I mean, God, do you guys not see how interesting this fight is? This is a very interesting fucking fight. Sorry, guys. I got a little distracted. I'm back. Forgot what I was saying. Forgot where I left my train of thought. Damn it. Some people always mess me up. But anyways, like I was saying, the thing about the Mearns brothers is that they have always been at a disadvantage as far as size and reach. So styles make matchups. What's going to be interesting is to see how... And the thing about Richard Mearns is a very powerful striker. He's short, he's stubby, he's jacked. You know what I'm saying? So he's a very powerful striker, but so is Scott Butters. Now, when it comes to the ground, if this fight was to go to the ground, okay, now I would have to say the wrestling advantage. I would have to give the grappling advantage to Scott Butters. I mean, I'm gonna have to give it to him. But as far as on the feet, I'm going to have to give the striking advantage to Richard Mearns. Now, if this fight were to go to the ground, you know, now you guys heard Richard on my podcast the last time he was on, and he was pretty much giving us a grappling seminar. So that lets me know that Richard Mearns is not afraid to go to the ground. He competes in these grappling tournaments, so therefore, you know, he knows what he's doing on the ground. Now, Scott Butters, on the other hand, that's where he comes from. So that makes it so interesting. Like, this isn't your typical grappler versus striker matchup. I mean, it's not. It's not your typical shit. It's not your typical grappler versus striker. You know, it's different. This is completely different. So, I mean, this is a contest of top UK grapplers. This is, I mean, top UK fighters. This is a clash of the titans, guys. It is. You know, the winner of this fight could really get some opportunities. You know, now whoever loses this fight might have to take it back to the drawing board. I'm not sure. Richard was successful in his last fight, and Scott Butters was not. Now, Scott Butters has been facing this shoulder injury. I think the fight with I can't remember. I think it might have been Finhagen. I don't know. He injured his shoulder, so that and it's affected him, especially against these bigger guys that Butters has been fighting at lightweight. So maybe the move to featherweight is something that Butters really should do. I think that's a smart move on Butters' behalf. But guys, look, man, I expect a lot. I'm gonna have to dig deep and get some coverage on this one. Like, I'm talking dig deep to do some coverage on this one. Like, I'm gonna do film coverage. I'm gonna make film videos. Like, you guys just see. You guys just watch and see. Like I said, this fight I will not choose. I respect both of these gentlemen. You'll probably see them both in the next coming weeks. You'll see them both back on the podcast. And it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be a great time. Like, I don't feel any bad blood between these guys. You know, I feel like this is going to be a very respectable matchup. You know, and that's what I like about these guys. Now, I know these guys have told me, you know, hey, if someone trash talks me, you know, I'll stand up for myself and trash talk back. But it's not something that these guys initiate. Now, Tom Mearns, on the other hand, I can see Tom Mearns initiating some trash talk. Don't hate me, Tom. You know it's all love, man. But, you know, Richard, on the other hand, is a little more docile than Tom Mearns. So he's a little bit different of a character. But Scott Butler's nicest guy in the world, man. Nicest guy in the world. So, you know, I'm trying, like I said, guys, I'm going to keep it very neutral. You'll see both of these guys on No Filter MMA in the coming weeks. And let's rock it. Let's rock it. Let's rock it. This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA. Drop your comments in the comment section. Hit that like button. Hit that dislike button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I'm out.
If you don't want to subscribe to No Filter MMA, you can fuck off.